In today's video, what can you do to lose fat faster? If you're trying to go from this to this, what can you do to lose fat quickly? Hey guys, this is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can speed up the process of fat loss. I want to dispel a few myths. I want to talk about sugar. I want to talk about low-calorie dieting. And all the questions today we're going to talk about come from my Instagram direct message. So first, if you like this kind of information from a coach who's been doing this for over a decade, getting results for both himself and his clients, well, hey, hit subscribe. It makes my day. But second of all, if you want to ask me a question, go to my Instagram direct message, ask me that question. And first, what I'd like to do is post it up here for you guys, and then we're going to discuss it. I was wondering if there's anything I can do diet-wise to lose the fat faster. I'm trying to cut out sugar completely. That wouldn't help, wouldn't it? Thank you so much for your help. I replied, no, it's about a big calorie deficit. What's your calories and cardio like? She replied, at the moment, my calories are approximately 800 and my activity is walking approximately 20,000 steps a day. I'm trying to lose at least 14 pounds. Thank you, Paul. I said, how approximate is that diet? And she said, oh dear, it's not a great one. It's like a Kit Kat in the morning, maybe a couple of crackers later, and usually some grapes or broccoli. I know it's not ideal. So initially this young lady reached out to me and she said she wanted to lose fat faster, which I can completely understand. I myself am going through a dieting phase right now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a little leaner, a little meaner. And I will say, we all get the itch, but she wants to lose about 14 pounds of body fat and do it faster. And her first question was, should you cut out sugar? Can that make the process faster? And my answer to that is no. Cutting out sugar is not going to make it go any faster. But here's what I mean by that. What drives fat loss in our bodies is ultimately creating a caloric deficit. Now, if you cut sugar out of your diet and you end up taking in less calories, sure. But if sugar is a part of your diet and you're also getting enough protein, you're getting enough fiber, and you're getting enough movement, there is nothing that is inherently wrong with sugar, okay? It is easy to digest. I take plenty of it in a day. In fact, I can post a video here of me eating 1,000 grams of carbs in a single day. Guess what happened? I didn't put on body fat. Well, how is that possible? I mean, it was literally hundreds of grams of sugar. Well, I'm an athlete. I was doing things athletically with those calories. Glycogen is used for muscles, right? It is stored in our body as energy. So I know a lot of people have this fear, you've heard about the insulin kind of fat storage model, but it's complete nonsense. And the reason being is because our bodies are always storing body fat, okay? You do not need insulin to store body fat. You can eat nutritional fat from your diet and store fat without any insulin. Likewise, insulin is also very anabolic. What does anabolic mean? Anabolism means we're adding tissue to our body. Now, if you're not doing anything with your life, maybe that's fat tissue. But if you're active, well, that can be muscle tissue, right? So there's two sides to every story, guys, and I do not focus too much on sugar. Is it a great thing to have in your diet? Of course not. You want to be focused on whole foods, but there's also no problem with sugar. So when she asked me that, my immediate question was like, okay, well, what does your diet look like? And come to find out, she's on an 800 calorie diet. And when I dug a little bit further, I'll put some screenshots on here. She mentioned the first thing she was having was like a Kit Kat, right? So right off the bat, I think what she's trying to do is just abate hunger. She's just having the bare minimum calories so that she can get through her day. Now, what are the benefits of eating something like a Kit Kat if you're on 800 calories? Well, a lot of sugar in it. You're going to get some energy from that, but I certainly wouldn't suggest focusing on your diet as you have it set up, because as I can tell, protein is pretty much non-existent. So what I struggle to deal with when someone tells me they want to lose 14 pounds, they're already doing 20,000 steps a day and they're on 800 calories, is where is this deficit going to come from? Because when you're on low calories and you're moving a lot, your body's going to start to get really good at conserving energy. So you're not going to burn calories outside of your walking, and your digestive processes are going to change so much. Well, I would actually increase calories. So the real way, in my mind, to lose body fat is through movement, okay? Yes, nutrition plays a part. But if your nutrition and your approach to 800 calories, and I'll put an 800 calorie meal plan on here, it's laughable. It looks like one meal for me, is that it's going to create conservation of energy. Whereas if you ate and take in calories appropriate for where you're at now, and something like You know, if let's say you want to lose 14 pounds, where should your protein be at, guys? You guys have heard me say it over and over. Set your daily protein at your goal weight. That is a great way to just understand, like, okay, I know I want to get to whatever, 100 pounds. I'm just going to have 100 grams of protein today. That's going to help with satiety. That's going to help with recovery. And you got to remember, it's not just about muscle protein synthesis. There's also whole body protein synthesis. Protein makes up all the cells in our body, so there is value to taking that in. You can also start to have some real hormonal issues, digestive issues, hair, nail issues, skin issues from taking in such low calories because you're not going to get enough nutritional fat to support your hormones. Now we're going to start to see some really bad downstream effects, okay? So 800 calories and you have 14 pounds to go, I'm sorry. That is not a feasible approach. I would focus more on bringing calories up, you know, gradually 50 calories a week, and focus more on, instead of just getting 20,000 steps a day, focus on doing some resistance training and focus on types of cardio that you're allowed or able to kind of increase the intensity of that exercise so that you're burning a few more calories in those sessions. So the good thing about resistance training is that, you know, you say you want to lose 14 pounds, but you might not need to lose 14 pounds if you start some resistance training and you start changing your body composition, okay? Muscle, as we've all heard, takes up less space in the body. Muscle fibers are nice and tiny, but they weigh a little bit, right? So you actually have a nicer look and shape to your body. The one thing you don't want to do, and I think we can all agree, is just lose the body fat, but also lose muscle at the same time. You end up in a skinny fat state, whereas you're at the weight you want to be, but you just don't look good, okay? Your skin is loose, you don't feel good, you're not performing well, and ultimately when you reach your goal weight, you're going to be left with a severely compromised body composition, a severely compromised metabolism, and likely develop some eating disorder behaviors along the way, meaning you're going to put on body fat rapidly, which is very easy to do when you have restricted calories so long. Your body becomes a fat storage machine. Look up a term called body fat overshooting. This is seen over and over again in people that enter very low calorie diets, reach their goal, or they spend a lot of time. You know, you guys have seen the show The Biggest Loser. They lose a lot of body fat. They reach their goal weight. But what happens when that ends? They body fat overshoot, meaning they actually end up with more body fat than they started with. So your 800 calories or whatever it is that you're on based on what you're telling me here, part of it is it's the wrong calories, okay? This is why macronutrients are important. This is why when I coach people, I discuss, okay, what proteins are you taking in? How are you spacing it? Because there is value in getting the right ratios of macronutrients. What are those? Well, a lot of it depends on the calories that you're taking in, right? So if you're at 1,000 calories and you need to get 100 grams of protein, well, that's 40% of your calories, right? So you're at that 40% mark. Maybe the next 40% are coming from carbohydrates, the other 20% are coming from fats. There is a nice balanced approach, maybe 25% from fats and 35% from carbohydrates. But a balanced approach is going to provide you with energy to move more, to do some resistance training, and to focus on losing body fat through movement rather than starvation, restriction, and basically what's going to be a short-term successful weight loss plan that's going to leave you worse than where you started. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Guys, I have a macro calculator that is free. Literally free. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to enter an email, nothing. Just go to my website. I'll put a link below and you can plug in some information and follow that for a week. My favorite thing to do with athletes is gather data. And you can't really gather data unless you do something consistently for a week. So hit numbers for a week, see how your body composition changes. Like I said, I know you want to lose 14 pounds. Those 14 pounds might not be the weight that you need to lose. You might only need to lose 4 pounds, but have some body recomposition because it sounds like your diet is atrocious. So hopefully this helps answer your questions. I hope you guys are having a great day and I'll talk to you tomorrow.